On today's episode, we're talking all about why you should start a podcast and when maybe you shouldn't. Let's get to it. Hey there, my name is Adam Erhart, modern marketing strategist, and welcome to the Modern Marketing Show, where we help you make marketing that matters. And on today's episode, we're talking all about why you should start a podcast, and of course, maybe when you shouldn't. And this is a pretty popular topic these days, especially as audio marketing is growing in popularity. Now, the reason audio marketing is growing in popularity is due to a number of different reasons, but the main one is the fact that it's just so easy now to go out there and to consume audio marketing, especially as you and your customers and your clients become busier and busier. After all, it's hard to read a blog or to watch a video when you're driving in the car. At least you really shouldn't be. And it's hard to read a blog or read a book or even watch a video when you're on the treadmill or lifting weights at the gym. Again, you probably shouldn't be. And if you're doing housework around the yard or you're outside or you're going for a run or you're biking or anything like that, again, kind of hard to watch a video and read a blog. But audio, well, you can multitask with audio. You can have it going into your ears as you keep your hands free and you're free to do almost anything else. And this is the reason that people, especially busy people, are tending to gravitate more towards audio content now than ever before. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that in just a second. First, let's cover the big topic of when you should not start a podcast. First of all, there's a ton of advice out there and everybody's preaching why you need to start a podcast, myself included, and in this video. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right choice for you or your business. First of all, when it comes to content marketing and creating content in general, you got a number of different options available. You have the text-based content, like a blog or an article or a book or anything like that. You've got video content, like I'm doing here, or anytime you're recording any form of video that basically requires someone to watch to get the full level of engagement out of it. And then of course, you've got audio content, which is going to be anytime that you're listening to something like an audiobook or a podcast or radio or anything like that. The beauty of having these different content modalities available is it allows you to choose which one is best suited for you. Because at the end of the day, the best type of content marketing is the type of content marketing that you're actually going to want to create and that you're actually going to commit to. This means if you simply hate writing, well then obviously text-based marketing isn't going to be the best one for you. And if the thought of being on video or creating video sounds overwhelming or terrifying, well then obviously you're not going to want to stick with the video marketing strategy. And that'll bring us to the last point of if you simply hate the way your voice sounds or you hate talking or you hate interviewing people or anything like that, well obviously audio content or doing a podcast or anything like that isn't going to be the best choice for your business. All right, so now that we've got all that covered, let's move in to why you should start a podcast if you can get yourself over the hurdles of getting out there and recording some audio content. The number one reason why you'd probably want to start a podcast is because it is incredibly underpriced attention. What this means is when we compare podcasting to other forms of marketing, whether it's content marketing or paid media like Facebook ads or YouTube ads or anything like that, the cost to get your message in front of your audience is incredibly cheap and incredibly cost effective. Now, obviously there are costs involved, like the time it takes to record a podcast, the editing and mastering, and all of the work that goes into that type of thing. But when you consider all those costs, it's still really cheap to get it in front and get it into your customers' ears, especially when you start to consider the length of time that someone normally listens to a podcast. They're normally not spending 3 to 5 minutes reading a blog or 5 or 6 or 7 minutes watching a video, but they tend to listen to podcasts for 10, 20, 30, sometimes even up to an hour at a time. Simply put, that type of attention and commanding that type of attention from your customer or client is simply unavailable almost anywhere else and certainly not for the costs involved. So moving on to point number 2. Now we covered this briefly before, but I really want to reiterate it here, which is audio is one of the preferred types of content for really busy people for all of the obvious reasons. Specifically because you can listen to audio content when you're doing all sorts of other things, including at the gym or commuting or flying or anything like that. So this makes it a great way to market to an audience that wouldn't otherwise necessarily sit down and read a blog or go through videos or anything like that. So again, one more tool to add to your toolkit. The next reason why you'd want to start a podcast is because they are incredibly easy to consume for your listeners. Pretty much everybody has a phone these days, and most phones come equipped with a podcast app pre-installed. This means you pretty much have a direct line from your content right to your customers or clients. Even when we consider other apps like videos or blogs or articles or books or anything like that, there tends to be one more step involved. But with a podcast app, what's going to enable it to happen is you're going to be able to upload your content to a podcast host, and then it'll be automatically downloaded directly to your customers or clients whenever they're subscribed. And then of course, like I already mentioned, they can consume it whenever they want really easily and really quickly. All right, moving right along to point number 4 of why you would want to start a podcast is because a podcast is a very strong authority authority signal. After all, the barriers to entry in starting a podcast still are kind of there. I mean, it does take a little bit of work and it does take a little bit of effort. And of course, like all content marketing, you're going to need something to say and you're going to need to say it well. So for this reasons, when you've got a podcast and when you've got one that's been professionally installed and professionally designed, well, it's a really good authority boosting signal, proving that you're an expert and proving you know what you're talking about. And anytime you have a chance to leverage an authority boosting signal like that, I suggest you take it. After all, it'll do nothing but good things for your brand, your business, and your revenue overall. Reason number 5 why you would want to start a podcast is because it's like networking gasoline. Essentially, when you have a podcast, it's giving you a platform to reach out to other experts, to authors, to influencers, to celebrities, to popular people in your industry or in your market, and basically be able to go out there and provide them with something of value in exchange for their time by leveraging their message across your platform. In fact, using this method has been the biggest way that having a podcast in my arsenal has added to my revenue. It's also been a massive tool in allowing me to connect with other like-minded professionals just like myself and reach out to other influencers from a position of give rather than ask. So if there's ever anyone that you've ever wanted to reach out to and get on their radar, a podcast is an excellent way to do it. Point number 6 why you would want to start a podcast is because podcasts are incredibly versatile. What this means is that you can record a video, say, for your podcast, and then you can strip the audio from it. You can then take that audio and have it transcribed, and that turns into text. And of course, you could take all of that and have it chopped up into little social media posts, which means that from one short episode, you've got all sorts of different media from it. This means you can leverage that podcast interview across YouTube and across different podcasting platforms. You can put it on any social media channel you like, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. And you could even create little quote cards or little memes or little photos from it and turn those into Instagram posts. Basically, you can do a lot of damage with one little podcast. And point number 7 is that audio content is continuing to increase in popularity and consumption by your market. Whether we're talking about podcasts or Spotify ads or Alexa skills, audio content is quickly growing in popularity, as I touched on before. This means now is the perfect time to jump on this trend and to ride the wave ahead of the curve. The future of audio marketing is very friendly, which means now is the perfect time to get in and double down on really honing your skills and entrenching your podcast into the ears and into the lives of your customers and clients. Now, one final point before we sign off here. Starting a podcast is not super easy. There are some things you're going to need to learn, including distribution and hosting and editing and all the things that go into running an audio program. That said, it is incredibly worthwhile, and these barriers to entry are actually a really good thing, because anytime you've got some barriers to entry, well, it keeps the amateurs out and it makes room for the professionals just like you to take advantage and leverage this powerful tool in your business. All right, so let me turn it over to you. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast? If so, what would you title it? What would the niche be? What would the market be? What would you talk about? Let me know in the comment section below, as I'd really love to hear. Also, let me know what was the most compelling reason that I talked about today, and was there anything that might push you over the edge and get you to finally start doing that podcast that you know you should be doing. And of course, if you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell. And of course, if you have any comments, suggestions, or any ideas for a future video, just let me know in the comment section below. Take care for now, and I'll catch you next time on The Modern Marketing Show.